2 domestic species of livestock a week. And nobody really knows and understands. And I grew up around a lot of these animals, and I understand them and I love them. And I understand how smart they are. So I'm really passionate about them. So I started collecting some of the rarest animals I could get my hands on and some of the more unique ones. And just started working with, I'll call them the old timers, and working with conservancy groups and talking to them and really expanding upon what my clientele wanted. The first year was about the chickens, and then the second year I had my website going, and it wasn't about chickens anymore, it was everything. So it went from peacocks to guinea fowl to emus, and we really expanded upon that. Most of my clientele are new families, young families. They want to buy young chicks to raise with their children or their grandchildren. There's a lot of grandparents that like to educate their grandchildren these days. And it's something where I could bring the rarest animals, really bring that education, and really bring what people were looking for. Because when you're bringing children into the mix of farming and all these city folk ideals, you not only want a chicken that's going to lay eggs, you want the prettiest chicken, the rarest chicken, the frizzliest chicken. You want what every person doesn't have. You want the neighbors to stop and go, what is that? I have to have that. And it's really worked for me with the farms because it's really fueled my passions, because that means that I can have 40 different types of chickens. This year on the farm, we hatched over 120 different types of chickens. You won't find 120 different types here because I've sold most of them, because I've sold out pretty well all year long. But it's just something for me that is even wild, is that when I first started, I knew there was a lot out there, but I never realized the mass numbers of different varieties and color types and genotypes. You have it, it's out there.
This is a silver lace Orpington. These hens, when they grow up to be hens, they go anywhere from like $60 to $80 a bird. And actually, these chicks sell for $20 at a day old, so they're kind of an anomaly for me.
I currently am hatching about 500 babies every 2 weeks. Just slightly under, to be honest, but it's close to 500 every 2 weeks, and I probably will start slowing down in September, and then I'll just be doing some personal hatching of my prime breeding stock to do my selections for my breeding stock for next year. But for the most part, I've had pre-booked hatches, and I've had sellout hatches of the birds that I do have, especially because I don't only breed my own flocks. I'm a small hatchery, so I order in from all over Canada. So that's why a part of my margins are really small, is I will go spend $1,500 on a dozen eggs out from Prince Edward Island or from Ontario just to make sure that I have the top best fresh genetics. I sell in 2 stages. So I sell day-old chicks to up to 3 weeks old. If they don't sell at 3 weeks, which normally they do, so I've had to slow down and stop some sales just so I have older chicks later on this year. But I sell them from that day-old to 3-week-old, and then I don't sell them until they actually lay their first egg, their point of lay. Many farmers nowadays, you can't afford to just farm. Most farms either have a double income outside of the farm or a single income outside of the farm. So I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I work on the farm with my partner Darren for 2 hours. We go and work 10 hours a day off the farm, come back, work 2 more hours, and we go to bed and then hope that everything survives until we can have the focus time on the weekends to actually make our sales and do all the extra stuff like the cleaning, the deep cleanings. You know, we do our main cleaning every day. We rake the tops of the coops off, and you top up the waters, and you add apple cider vinegar to the water to make sure that they have good gut health, because I have a mixed flock. I have many different types of animals, which means that some animals are prone to carrying something, some aren't, and some are susceptible to it. So through our walk-arounds, you'll see that there's a lot of animals that are placed in specific places, and that's because they can't interact with certain ones, or I can't have another one being near another one because they will interbreed. So then you have these animal hybrids when I'm a breeder selling purebred animals, and I don't need a guinea turkey or what have you. So it's busy. It's always busy, but it's all about the love, because my margins are small, but at the end of the day, it's more about the passion and the education and, you know, keeping the industry alive in a time when it's dying, and it's dying before our eyes, and most people don't really understand how quickly we're losing farming in this day and age.